Welcome back again. This is Dale Carson, live on Facebook. As you may know, the law firm, we're gun toters here. We believe strongly in the Second Amendment. But I recently, on the internet, saw an individual describing this attack, okay? A woman with a baby carriage is in a Walmart parking lot. She is assaulted, because he watches this, she's assaulted by two men who come up and attack her, try to hit her in the back of the head. Another individual, who turns out is an Afghan vet, rushes to her aid, gets shot in the face by the guy who is assaulting this woman with the baby carriage, and then a gun toter like us runs over there to protect the woman and eventually kills one of the shooters, and the other individual involved in the assault on the woman with the baby carriage flees. And the video, the YouTube video, talked about how that was such a good thing, that the armed, concealed citizen rushed over and rescued the person. But I want you to think about something, because I had a conversation not just the other day in London, where the bridge, where there was a driver who drove through a number of pedestrians and killed some people over there, and then ultimately got out of the car and stabbed someone. And that's a horrible thing, to be sure. But I want you to think about this. Under Florida law, you stand in the shoes of the person whom you're trying to protect. Now, just seeing something go on, let's go back to this Walmart situation. What if that woman was trying to abduct that child, and the two people who showed up and were struggling with her, fighting with her, were security people, property protection people from Walmart trying to rescue the child? The Afghan runs up, but the former Afghan vet runs up, but he's the husband of the woman who's trying to steal this baby and is assaulting the officers and gets shot. And then someone runs up, you, as the citizen, the armed citizen who's going to help protect this woman, and you shoot a police officer or a security officer for Walmart. Think of the trouble that you're going to be in. Look, I work and shoot with a bunch of people these years. Masad Ayub, who's a well-known instructor. I'm actually an instructor for that particular program. And I will tell you something you need to think about. And I'm friends here in town with a fellow by the name of Jeff Nolan, who was a police officer for many years. Jeff and I have talked about this. He runs his own firearm school. And Jeff and I agree about one important thing. If you're not directly involved in something, it's probably better that you become a really good witness to the events that are transpiring. Take photographs, write down a tag number, watch what's happening, but don't get yourself directly involved if you are not directly being assaulted, because you don't really know what the truth is about what's going on in front of you. You make certain assumptions, as the first author of this discussion about Walmart did, that the woman with the baby carriage was being attacked, which may not be the case at all. And if you intervene, you might end up in a situation where you're charged with homicide. Now, importantly, if you're charged with homicide and you use and discharge a firearm and you hurt somebody with that firearm, even if you don't kill them, there is a minimum mandatory in Florida of 25 years. Here's what a minimum mandatory means, and we call them M&Ms in my industry. And M&M means this: if you get charged and you don't go to trial and you enter a plea, or you go to trial and you lose, the court, the judge, who's supposed to consider all the ramifications. For example, you're a good guy, you never had a problem before, this has never happened, you never had even a speeding ticket. The judge who's supposed to take that into account when sentencing you can't. You're going to get convicted. If you're convicted or you plead to the charge, you're going to serve 25 years in custody. Now, that's a whole lot for just trying to help somebody out. So you got to man up sometimes, but that doesn't necessarily mean you got to pull out your gun and shoot somebody. And it also means that you've got a responsibility not only to yourself, but your own family. how are they going to survive if you're in custody for 25 years? Now, getting back to what happened in London, guy's driving down the road, he's running over people. Should you shoot him? You're armed, you're trained, you can actually hit somebody behind the windshield of a car, you know how to do that. Should you shoot him? Well, if it turns out he's a terrorist, yeah, you should shoot him. What if it turns out he's having a heart attack, or the car has taken over control of the accelerator and he's just running into people, he's trying to prevent it from happening, but he's not having any success, and you just killed somebody who doesn't have a terrorist bent? Well, you're going to get charged, and if that London Bridge shooter that you shot or driver that you shot is in Florida, you're going to be looking at 25 years. Let's don't do that. Simply because you have a gun doesn't entitle you to do certain things. It does allow you to protect yourself, and I encourage you to do that, but I want you to think through the process before you jump into something that you're going to regret. You will also have to hire an attorney to represent you. So that instantaneous decision to jump in to help somebody else who doesn't deserve to be helped is going to end up costing you time in prison and a lot of money, and it's surely not worth it. Be a good witness instead. If you have concerns or questions about this or any other of our live Facebook productions here, don't hesitate to call us at 904-355-6777 or look us up, www.dalecarsonlaw.com. We're here to help, and we look forward to chatting with you. Thanks.